What is up? It is me again, and I'm so happy to have you here today. Today I'm going to just kind of share a little bit something different than what I typically do. I kind of, I wrote down on my iPad right here, and I wrote down all the different things that I'm trying to work on. Now, I know you look at that and you see these paragraphs and you're like, dude, how much are you trying to work on right now? Like, that's a lot. It's not a lot. I just had to write down some context of the things that I wanted to share about this. But it's really 7 things that I'm consciously right now trying to work and fix in my life. Like, things that I'm trying to become a better human in. So excited to share these with you guys today. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you can actually give me some advice in the comment section or something below about things that I can do to actively improve in these things that might be able to help me out. I would really appreciate that. But if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Mike. The whole purpose of this channel is just really for me to document and share my whole journey of trying to grow a business and being an entrepreneur, and just me trying to better myself as a human being, trying to put myself into a better situation in life. And I just kind of want to share all the experiences and things along the journey with that. And if you guys can come here and get some value from that, learn something from the experiences that I've gone through and how to apply them to your own life so you can make better decisions for your own self, like, that would be awesome. So if you like that type of stuff, hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so you can be notified every single time I drop a new video, which is every week to week or 2 weeks, something like that. But yeah, let's get into it today. So a little fun fact before I shoot this video. It was so unfortunate, but it's okay because this just gives me an opportunity to make a great video today. I shot this video yesterday, got a brand new wireless mic. Now I switched back to the corded because I was so angry with that thing. But I shot a whole video and the audio only got recorded for like the first 3 minutes. So I looked at it as an opportunity to say, you know what, today's is going to be better, even though I don't have coffee and it's in the morning, but that doesn't matter. I'm focused. It's going to be a good video. So I'm thankful for you guys to be here today and really kind of, open the blinds a little bit to behind the things that I'm constantly trying to work on, because I ain't perfect. And I know, I'm more so saying, like, sometimes when people create positive content, like, you always kind of think this person has no issues or problems that they're working on in their life, but I don't think that's true. So as someone who kind of always shares that, like, positive reinforcing messages, like, I want to let you know that I'm not perfect and there's things that I struggle with in my life, and I just want to share those things today. Just be real. Another thing about this channel is I just want to be authentic. Like, I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not, I just share everything. I'm an open book, and people don't like that, then you don't have to stay here. But all right, I got 7 things that I'm really consciously trying to work on today, and we'll just kind of dive right into them. So first thing is, I attach to a desired outcome. Like, I want things to happen how I want them to happen, and I want to get better with just being able to go with the flow. I've been like this like a lot in my life, and like, I'm sorry, Dad, but I think I got this one from you and my mom kind of. But just always trying to have control over everything, like outcomes, the way that people are, like the things that you do when you're in groups. Like, for an example, like when I say when you are in groups, like, I've always felt like I've been the type of friend, and I don't say this proudly, like, I've always been the type of person where it's like I want people to do what I want to do, like the input that I put in the group on like what we should do and where we should go. Like, I've wanted to have the control over all those things, and also have control over like how things happen in my life, And it just brings me to think, like, God laughs at a man with a plan. And like, if you plan to try to control everything, like, that's why God probably laughs at me sometimes. He's like, dude, you're like a comedian, because like, you try to control how things are always going to turn out, but you don't have any control. Like, just control the things that you can control is what I try to tell myself. You know what I can control? I can control having a good attitude. I can control treating people nice. I can control having good intentions and trying to do the right things. And that's it. Like, I can't control what happens in certain aspects after that. Like, all I can control is on doing the right and the good actions. And then what happens from there is just let it be. Like, the things that are supposed to happen and come into my life, the opportunities, the people, just let it happen, let it flow. Don't try to control it. Because one thing about like what I've noticed for myself is when I try to control like what the outcomes in my life is, you realize you don't have really too much control over outcomes, and then it robs you of joy. It makes you unhappy. It made me sad. So just something I'm trying to actively work on is just good intentions, good actions, doing the right things, and the right things will follow, and just let it go with the flow. Just being more of a person that just goes with the flow of life, really. So that's the first thing I'm really trying to work on right now, is just going with the flow. All right, number 2. And this one is, you probably know this if you know me, but if you don't know me, now you know this. Is I get extremely angry. Like, I'm just a very competitive person in sport environments, and I hate losing. And I need to realize sometimes that it's just a game. Like, it's cool to be competitive. Like, I like that. I respect competitors. But you know what also is cool? Is keeping your cool. Being competitive is cool, but something else that's cool is keeping your cool in an environment like that. And like, something that comes to mind is, like, I recently joined like a men's basketball league, and it's just some friends and we just have fun. And even though we're just having fun, we're out on the court, people pay for this and people do get extremely competitive, which I do enjoy. But then also, it's like, when it gets to a point, like when people talk shit or something, like, it doesn't need to escalate something further than that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's not someone personally saying something to try to attack you. It's just the heat in the moment of a game. And like, I could be that person sometimes where someone talks the shit and they say the wrong thing, and I'm like, dude, do you realize I will grab you by the neck right now and throw you to the ground? Like, I just always had that like savage chip on my shoulder mentality of I've just always had that, and it's not a good thing. So second thing I'm trying to work on is just be competitive in sporting environments. That's cool, but just like keeping my cool. It's cool to be cool. So that's number 2. Number 3 is I really struggle to say no to a good time, and it's not always involved around drinking. Something that I heard that I always think about, I'm like, dude, come on, is that when you're saying yes to something, you're always saying no to something else. Like, we all have goals, we all have things that we're going to work on, whether if it's monetary, if it's physical, if it's like family stuff, whatever it is. And when we're saying yes to everything else, we're saying no to the priorities of life that we really do want to focus and grow in. For me, that's like, physically, I want to become a specimen. Like, I want to get jacked. I want to look good. Like, I want to improve in my martial arts and things like that. I want to grow in business and, become a successful entrepreneur. But if I'm always saying yes to going out on the weekends or going here and going there, even if it's, like I said, not involved around drinking, like, I'm saying no to these things. And I get a balance in life, but just like sometimes it doesn't have to be every weekend. And then also, like, something I put under here is, and also too, when I do drink, I really struggle with just chilling. Always been like this, man. Like, I've never been like a test the water where it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, we'll see how things go. I'm gonna just test the waters. I'm diving head first in. I'm getting drunk, baby. So just being able to just, when I go out, like, have that consciousness to just say, like, I could just chill. Like, why do I need to get drunk? Like, why do I need to be the drunk one here? Why can't just have like a drink or 2, chill, make it home, wake up, get my shit done? But maybe I should just say no in the beginning to doing that stuff. But that's just the next thing I'm working at. It's just, I struggle with FOMO, being able to fear out of missing out on an opportunity that looks fun and creating memories with people, but just need to get cool with myself to say, hey, that sounds really fun, thanks for the invite, but I got shit I gotta work on right now. Like, that's important to me. Like, this is more important to me than like anything in the world. So, yeah. All right. That was number 3. Number 4. I do believe that I have a really good heart. Like, I have a great heart. I love people, and I'm a selfless person. But I can also come across as pretty ruthless to people. Like, just having zero sympathy for people's excuses. And sometimes, like, oh man, I'm gonna just get open here because this isn't fun. All right, this isn't like the most exciting thing to have to admit, but sometimes I feel like I could do a better job of taking more of like caring about other people. Like, I do care about other people, but sometimes it's only when I want to care about other people, So just 24/7, like, always having that care and love in my heart for other people. So, the thing I wrote under here is I can also be a little too straightforward with what I think about a situation or a person. Like, when really most of the time I don't need to say anything because people just need a listening ear. I don't need to always chip in and say something. Like, people just need to get shit off their shoulders sometimes. Or just learn how to say things a little bit more nicely. And I put, just being better, getting better at being more lighthearted in all situations. I don't need to always be David Goggins to everybody, you know what I mean? Like, because I know that for myself, like, I'm just this kind of balls to the wall type of person. No excuses. I got a broken arm, fine, let's go. We're gonna find a way to do pull-ups or push-ups or get a workout in. Broken leg, same thing. Break my fucking leg, I'm gonna find a way to get it done. Like, that's just the type of person that I am. So it's difficult for me sometimes when people are telling me situations and they're like talking about, I didn't do this because my arm was hurting or my leg was hurting or I was up late the night before and I couldn't get this assignment done or this job task done or something. And all I'm thinking in my mind is like, you fucking excuse making pussy, you know what I mean? Like, come on, get it done. But that's not how I should be. Like, not everyone has to have my mindset. And just in all honesty, being transparent, that's what makes me different. That's what makes me different, is the different way that I think, the different way that I operate. And that's what makes us all human, is our own individual characteristics of things. So just being able to be a little bit more lighthearted in situations towards people. Yeah. So that was number 4. Number 5 is I struggle with imposter syndrome. And sometimes this one's tough, man. Like, I struggle with imposter syndrome because I get on here and like I'm trying to share, inspiration, motivation, document my journey. And that's what I have to remember. Keyword is I'm just documenting my journey. Because sometimes when I make these videos, like, I don't want people to perceive me as someone who thinks they're up here, you know? And this is just like my own insecurities, you know? So I put sometimes that is why when I post I get so attached to likes and comments, because I need that to make me feel like I'm not an imposter. Because I'm not where I want to be exactly in life, and I feel like, who am I to get on video sometimes and try to share something with other people, you know? Like, who are you? You haven't done anything in your life. Like, you know? But there's this one thing that I tell myself that I need to remember. That if you are what you do, then when you don't, you ain't. So, do I have the habits of someone that I want to become? You know, do I wake up early? Do I treat other people good? Am I working hard? Am I, doing the right task and focusing on the right things every single day? Then cool. Like, if you do those things, then you are the person that you say that you are. All the materialistic stuff, it just hasn't come yet. It hasn't arrived, but it's going to. It's here. It's just the only miscommunication is the time, you know, if that makes sense. So, like, if you're an Iron Man, you know, if you stop training, you are not an Iron Man anymore, because if you are what you do, then when you don't, you ain't. So it's like, it's the habits, it's the characteristics. So I have to remind myself, like, I am this person. I'm not an imposter, because I wake up, I do these things, I'm taking the action, I'm doing the habits. If I am what I do, then when I don't, I'm not. Like, I'm doing the things, so I am this person. It's just what I have to remind myself. So maybe for any one of you who's struggling with imposter syndrome, ask yourself, like, am I doing the actions on a daily basis? Like, am I taking the actions that someone that is in this type of field or situation and is successful? Am I doing the things that they're kind of doing? Am I mirroring those good habits? Because if I am and I do those things, then I am that person. So that's what I remind myself. You know, I struggle with imposter syndrome. So just being a little easier on myself. We're our own harshest critic as well with that too. So being more lighthearted with myself. Okay, number 6. I struggle with trusting God and what He has in store for me. You know, just trusting His timing of things more. And the 2 things I wrote down, this is like a little bit more just me being honest. It's a little weird to share these things, but I go through this weird function. I'm just trying to even find the right way to say this. Like, I want a woman in my life at some point, you know, finding the right person. And sometimes, like, I can go through these modes or these swings of like it goes back to the first thing of like just going with the flow. Like, I ask, I'm like, damn, where is my person? Like, I see people really happy and they found their kind of person in life, and sometimes I tell myself, like, oh, that ain't me. I want to travel and experience and be single. But then there's this other thing that's deep down that says, like, I don't know, like, he who has a wife finds a good thing, you know. So just being able to like trust God with, like, again, back to the same thing of like right actions, right thing, right mentality, keep growing as a person, the right things will just come. Like, and I can't be so attached to it needing to be now or tomorrow or whenever it is, that in the right time, the right woman will come across. And also trusting out with work, is that, with everything that we're doing within work, we've taken a lot of risk, and we've taken a lot of, we haven't taken a lot of like money from our own company. We've put everything back in. So just being able to trust that process of like, things are going to like tenfold one day, but it's sometimes hard to see that when you're in the moment, when you're stuck in the mud and you're not moving really quick, to see that vision actually unfolding and coming to fruition. So just trusting God that the things that will work out. And this kind of really falls in line with going with the flow, because I feel like when you do trust God is when like you allow things to, you don't become attached to outcomes or things, because like your trust is knowing that the right things are going to come because God made that promise. So if you're not religious, I'm sorry, but that's just me. And my last thing, social media, fucking A, man. I can be a slave to social media sometimes, and I hate that. So just getting better with like, at the end of the day or in the beginning of the morning, like there's no need to sit and scroll Instagram, because that shit can rob you of some peace of mind. What you gotta learn about Instagram or social media in general is people only share the highlights of their life, the good things that are going on. So for someone who might be in a position where they're struggling a little bit mentally, and you're going on Instagram and you're seeing everybody only post the best moments of their life and not actually be real and authentic behind the scenes and show people like the things that they struggle with as well too. Think about the impact that can have on you as a person who might be struggling. So just for me is spending less time on that. Yeah. Not comparing where I'm at in life to where other people are posting and showing themselves in life, vacationing or growing successful businesses, like, and just not having that comparison. Because I won't lie, like I'll get on and I'll be like, damn, why don't I have this yet? Why can't I be? Robs me of joy. So those were the 7 things, just to go through them real quick. Not attaching to desired outcomes, being cooler in more competitive sporting environments, being able to just say no, coming across a little bit more lighthearted to people in situations, fixing imposter syndrome, trusting God fully, and just getting off social media more. So if you can relate to any of these, like this, if you have some advice that you can give me on how to get better with any of these, comment below, let me know. But I appreciate you guys, man. It means a lot. If you made it this far in the video, like, I want to hug you. I'd even give you a kiss right now. But it just means a lot to me. So appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for the next video, and don't forget, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and we'll see you next time.